Hey, welcome to Film Music Mentor. Today's topic, the ultimate film score solution. Hi, the ultimate film score solution. I know it's a lot to promise. Every film is different, and every collaboration is different, and not just different in little ways, but in major ways. Here's the real juice. Here's the real meat of the ultimate film scoring solution, and that is communication. Right? Sounds simple, but it's not. So this is something that has to happen whether you're doing an orchestral film, a synth film, all guitars, all didgeridoo, whatever you do, you got to communicate with the composer. If you're a composer watching, you've got to communicate with the filmmaker. If you're a filmmaker, you've got to communicate with the composer. And if you're a team of filmmakers, you should have a consensus of what you want, and one person should talk to the composer to avoid confusion. So here's a great place to start. Imagine a circle. That circle is all the music that could work in the film. Now, the next circle or the second circle, that's everything the filmmaker or filmmakers might want in their film or think they might want in the film. So if we can just partially overlap those circles, it's this space in between. This is where our music is. And of course, there's discussion. Sometimes a filmmaker will say, hey, what do you think? And then the composer will give the answer. And maybe you say, oh, wow, I didn't think of it that way. Can I see something? Or, no, I don't like that at all. But whatever those two circles overlap, that's where you begin. That's where you start your search. Now, filmmakers, if you have scenes from films or tracks of music or links on YouTube or other services, provide them to the composer. It gives a good sense. But here's the catch, and this is where most filmmakers go wrong in my experience. You'll show a composer all these things you like, but you don't tell them why. And you probably don't tell them why because you don't know exactly what it is you like about it. You just like it. But I just like it isn't really a good idea because it doesn't communicate anything tangible to your collaborator. So what I suggest you do is when you watch it, think about it. Think about what it is you like. Maybe you like the strings. Maybe you like the rhythm. Maybe you like the drums. Maybe you like the feel. Maybe you like the tempo. Maybe you like the singer. Maybe you just like that artist. There are a lot of reasons why you may or may not like a piece of music. And if you can tap into what those are specifically, you can communicate so much better and have a much better collaborative process. It'll go quicker, it'll be more fun, less frustrating, and ultimately more satisfying. So I recommend that highly. And use as many words. It doesn't have to be a musical terminology. You can say what you like about that. You may pick out instruments you like. You may pick out instruments you don't like. You may say, I don't like that. I don't like that thing. Or I love the boom, chick, boom, boom, ba, boom, ba. It doesn't matter. Just point out what it is that you like, and the composer can listen to your samples, watch your samples, and gather the things. I had a a great collaboration just recently where a filmmaker said to me, I think this film needs a lot of music, and I don't know why, but I feel like the movie The Lobster, that film score, that really does it for me. I want it to be like The Lobster. That's where I see it going. And so I went and watched The Lobster. And one thing I noticed in that movie was it was mostly classical music that had already been written. It was mostly string quartets or very small ensembles. And I noticed darkness to it and a quirkiness on how the music played against the picture. So that gave me so much information, and I went back and I said, "Here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm looking at. This is I think you're tapping into this rhythm that's occasionally happening, the string quartet, the small ensembles, very personal nature, and the sort of a classical or maybe bent classical approach." And she said, "Yeah, that sounds good. Can you do something?" So with all that information, I went and I scored the opening of the film the first minute or two, and it worked great. It was right there, and then I had the musical tools to finish the film. There are parts where we wanted to change things, little things, but the main idea was there, and it was easy to do the film. So the communication is really, really important. So again, let's go back to those circles. We have all of the music that's possible, and then all of the music that the filmmaker you may want, but we want this like overlapping section. That's where the goods are. And that's where we want to search first. It doesn't mean that we're going to end up there, but it's a place to start because I found that often filmmakers can give up very quickly because they don't understand this process. They don't understand the communicative aspect of working with a composer, or they're afraid of it, or they don't want to deal with it, or they don't want to delve into it quite as much. But it ultimately will make your film sound better. If your film's in festivals, it's going to separate it from the other films. It's going to just be better tailored, better suited, and you'll have a much better product, and the film will be better. And so many people are working on this film at this end stretch. It's important not to give up before the marathon is over. We want to make this as simple as possible. If you can get in a room together, that's great. It's not always possible. Sometimes schedules conflict. Sometimes you're doing emails back and forth, and sometimes you're just in a different part of the world or part of the country. So, but these make your communications often and close to each other. Don't wait too long. So phone's better than email, person's better than phone, but it's not always possible. So do what you can. But remember, communication is the key. It's the ultimate film scoring solution. As much communication as possible. Get on the same page. And it's uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable sometimes to talk about these things. If you're a film composer, maybe you're insecure about wanting to please the director. And if you were a filmmaker, maybe you're insecure about not knowing musical terms. But don't give that all up. We're here to work together. We're here to make a great product and express ourselves and do great work. So remember, the ultimate film scoring success formula is communication. I'm Andrew Marcus. Thank you for watching Film Music Mentor, and please subscribe and share. Thank you.